Oh, wow. That is a totally different view. Is that a rock face across from us?
Yep.
What was that rock face we took pictures of and they took crazy pictures of us? Long time ago. And we saw it like miles and miles away. Reminds me of it.
Are you coming down here?
Yes, yes I will. As previously stated, these rocks make me nervous because I slipped and fell on them. Woo! So glad I'm not hiking over that.
There's a lake over there.
I know, it's beautiful.
All the way up on top of the mountain.
I know.
So we're up here on top of the mountain, and here's a really cool oak called the bear oak, Quercus ilicifolia, and the leaves are super small, and they have little thorns on them. They grow in little shrub form and get, maybe 6 feet tall. Here's some new growth. There's a super cool plant. Almost look like a holly leaf of some sort. Pretty neat. Oh. Up here on the hill is some sort of Washington Monument looking thing. There's 700 steps to the top, I think someone said. And it's the highest point in New Jersey. Pacesetter wants to try to run up the steps. I guess you heard that little chuckle in the background. She's not running up the steps today. Well, it looks like it used to be a fire tower. Pretty interesting. I hadn't heard about this. Did you?
Mm-mm. Hopefully that doesn't mean it's condemned and about to fall down.
Oh wow, it's
beautiful.
A 360.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that obelisk up there.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna be staying up here too long. Quite warm. We're at the secret shelter.
Yeah, well, the far out didn't get it exactly right, but it really is gorgeous here.
It is gorgeous. There's a privy down in the woods behind Pacesetter, and then a couple of cabins. Outbuildings of sorts. And a beautiful, beautiful piece of land. It's owned by a former thru-hiker. There's a black walnut tree. There's black walnuts all over it. Former thru-hiker lets AT hikers come up here and camp. And normally there's water out of the spigot back there behind Pacesetter, but the guys here that we met this morning at the other shelter we were at said it's not on, so that's too bad. But yeah, gorgeous piece of property. We did what, a little over 13 miles today?
Yes.
How you feeling?
0.7.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good and tired, and like this is a great week.
So we're We're 1 mile off of our pace for our goal for the week, but if I don't stay too long in Unionville tomorrow, we'll make that up.
Oh, easily.
So, it's supposed to be a full moon tonight. I'll probably take some pictures and add them to the video. This tree is really neat. This is a catalpa tree. One of the nicknames is the monkey cigar tree because it gets these 18-inch long beans on them. Some people have been known to try to smoke.
Very young people. Little Bill.
Look at that.
That's a bog.
Yeah, the beavers have dammed up something. You can see the old trail used to go across. There's a board out there for a bridge. Danger, take reroute. Yes, it's still flooded. Pretty cool. That wasn't what I was expecting, but that's pretty cool. You get your bird app here, you probably get some water birds.
Oh, that'd be cool. Not today, though. I would say come in the winter. And there's not mosquitoes buzzing violently.
Yeah, not a good place to camp.
We walked off that property and mosquitoes were sending. This is the trail that I love. This is the trail that I love with all my heart. She's so lovely with no rocks. She's so lovely that I can see all the trees.
This is pace setters kind of trail.
Full steps. I'm looking at the nature. I may just see a little bear or a big bear or a deer if I shut my eyes.
Flat as a pancake. I guarantee you this used to be an old rail bed. I think the Appalachian Trail should find more old rail beds.
I agree.
Especially through Pennsylvania. Alright. We're on a trail bed outside of Unionville, New York. But we're in New Jersey, going right up the straight line. And I'll try to do this while I'm walking. On old steam trains, the engine was in the front, and the engineer would be up in the cab part of the train, driving the train, and there were all kinds of gauges in there that told the temperature of the boiler that boiled the steam that powered the steam engine. And behind where the engineers drove the train was a platform with more gauges, and down low in the center usually was a couple of doors that opened up into what they call the firebox, and that's where the fire was built and kept hot to boil the water. So a fireman would go back there when the temperature got down and load coal from from the coal car, which was the car behind the engine, and feed the fire. So that's a piece of coal, and you'll see them on the ground when you're walking on an old rail bed. And the coal would heat up the fire, which would boil the water and turn the engine, which turned the wheels and made the train go. When they ran the train for a period of time, they had a mechanism where they could take all the coals that had been burned and drop them out into another chamber, and then that would open up and drop onto the rail bed, and that would leave these cinders that were the byproduct of superheated coal, and they're laying on the ground on the tracks as well. And so if you see coal and cinders on one of the trails that you're walking, I'm pretty much guaranteed that it was a steam train and used coal instead of wood, if you can spot it. And those steam trains had to stop pretty frequently in different towns, and back then the towns along railroad tracks tended to be close together anyway, to refill with water, because without water there was nothing to heat to turn the engine, because you couldn't make steam without water. So when you're hiking a trail and the ground looks really, really black, look for cinders from old steam engines on the trail. And if you look harder, you probably will see pieces of coal. What would that be, a history lesson?
I'd say so.
History with Bill.